Hey ladies, it's Marie. It's been a while since I have posted a video. I have been on quite a run. Since May 1st, actually, I've been in a really busy push for my work. Um, Honestly, I felt like it was really important. I went for a walk this morning at the beach. So you're seeing me in all my glory with my puffy eyes because I am tired from all the work that I've been doing lately. Um, and today I'm done with a big push since May 1st. And it occurred to me that I really wanted to talk to you about the difference between being busy and being crazy busy. For me, in my life, most of my life up until about 3 years ago, I was crazy busy on steroids. I had so much going on. I lost myself. I wasn't even on the list. There was no list where I could even come on the list. It didn't feel right to be on the list to get my needs met. I just served everybody else and exhausted myself. But I still had a good life. I had a lot of fun. I had great friends, a great family, daughter, all of that wonderful stuff. Um, but I was exhausted all the time, and I wasn't happy if I really, in the dark of night, when I went to bed, I was exhausted at a soul level that I'm sure you can all appreciate. And since May 1st, I have been in Orlando, I've been in Arizona, I've trained 100 people, I've done 200 interviews in media trainings that I do, full day sessions, back to back, having to wake up early in traffic, come fly back and forth, blah, blah, blah. But before it started, I saw my calendar. It was a great opportunity. And I knew what I needed to do. Like, I really had to bring in help. I had to have a sit down with my daughter and say the next 3 weeks are going to be a little busy and mommy's going to be a little stressed. And here's what's going to happen. But once it's over, things are going to go back to normal. So she was on board with me. And, I built in time on the weekends to make sure that I didn't make weekends busy. Also, my daughter had performances. School had these half days. Excuse me. Everything that could pile onto a calendar all happened in every quarter of my life. So what did that look like? Well, in the old days, it would be like crazy. And what would happen is not only would I be crazy, but I would be beating myself up inside for not being there making dinner for my daughter. Constantly seeing any fun plans. Hi, Julie. Any fun plans that I had on the calendar is exhausting. Like, oh, I can't believe I have to go to dinner with my best friends because I'm just so exhausted. And for me now, it's like we took a trip to Arizona in the midst of all of this to see some good friends and celebrate a graduation of some dear friends. And I was looking forward to it. It wasn't exhausting to me. It was like, cool, I get a little break from the busy. And it was just this mindset, a difference because of the work that I've done over the last 3 years to really change and reprogram my brain to really put myself at the center of my life. And, I really hate the word balance, but I don't know another word to describe what I'm trying to get you all to do. Because balance assumes that there's this moment when we achieve balance and then like smooth sailing the rest of the way. And, everybody's everybody's balance looks different. Everybody has a different idea of what balance looks like. Our work intrudes on every aspect of our life now with our darn phones and emails. And gosh, most of my clients now text me, for Christ's sakes, and expect even more immediate response than an email. And life is just intermixed with work. So what does balance mean? Well, the best way I can describe it, and the difference between the last 21 days of me being really, really busy to my prior life, is the best way to describe the future, your future, if you choose to do this work, is who's driving my life. In my old life, responsibility was driving my life, other people, and not disappointing other people, and throwing all these plates in the air and never wanting to drop one or disappoint anybody. Everybody else was driving my decision making, was driving my life, and it felt constant like fear that I was going to get in trouble, that I was going to mess up, I was going to disappoint somebody, more importantly. And now I'm at the center of my life. I'm making the decisions. I'm living with intention. And the word intention is so powerful because the last 21 days was absolutely intentional. I chose to do this. It was a great opportunity. It's my area that I love to do most in my work, besides what I'm doing with you guys and the coaching I do with women. Media training is something that I really love, and it's a gift of mine. So I got an opportunity to work with a cool company and do it for 15 days and train 100 people. It was a super cool opportunity. It was exhausting mentally and physically, but not emotionally. And that's the difference, because I made the choice. I had a plan because I knew it was going to be really busy. I had a plan in place, and every day I just was in a level of gratefulness. Yeah, I was tired. And I hadn't worn heels that long, that consistently for 14 days to wear heels. Woo, my legs and my toes and my feet are killing me. Hi, Debbie. And what happened is, honestly, I had a great time, and my daughter was fine. And, my relationships were all still in place. I made time for them. I made sure, and I was looking forward to them, the time I had with my boyfriend, the time that I had with my daughter, because it was filling my bank. I made it okay that there was no cooking going on in my house for the last 14 days. But I had, groceries with this wonderful delivery of groceries coming to my house. So there was groceries in the house without me having to do it. I didn't feel guilty about that. I didn't feel privileged having groceries delivered to my house. This was the plan I had to get through the last 14 days in high energy. And I used all my tools to do it. And I didn't feel lost. I wasn't beating myself up. I knew that there was a start and an end. And that in my old life, I was just so overwhelmed. I was burdened by my life. I used to say, sadly, that my job was the enemy of my life. And I couldn't figure out how it couldn't be, because I was successful. A lot of people were counting on me. I enjoyed what what I do. I enjoy on a certain level. When I do too much of it, I didn't enjoy it. And when it was draining me. But every night I'd go to bed and I'd just, find a gazillion things that I did wrong and beat myself up. And during the day, my hamster brain wouldn't stop. And it was usually in judgment of myself. And it was because I wasn't in control of my life. Everyone else was in control of my life. And when you live in a space where you're afraid to disappoint people, where you're constantly giving, and all you do all day long is give to everybody else, and you go to bed and you've not spent any time even thinking about yourself, or doing anything for yourself, and yet you're so exhausted and you still didn't get everything done. That is a really hard place to be. And I lived so many years of my life in that mode. And it was an emotional exhaustion that I discounted, because I was like, yeah, my body will be there. I can push my body. I can work hard. Why am I so exhausted all the time? And you can see the bags under my eyes. Right now, I'm tired, but I'm physically and mentally tired, because it takes a lot mentally to do what I just did. But I'm not emotionally tired at all. I'm actually really good, and I'm super grateful, and I had some fun doing it. I had a lot of fun doing it, and it was a nice little bonus that I made money doing it, and that's going to help me have a better summer. So when I look at my life and I make decisions based on the whole, and I'm at the center of it, everything changes. And that took so many years to peel back the layers and learn how to do that, learn how to live differently, learn how to think differently, learn how to let go, and really be like, I have a very strong empathetic soul, and I used to take on other people's problems. And I would worry about them, and I would do all this stuff. And now I know that I can really be there as a friend or a sister, or even a mother, and I can be there and be supportive and give my gifts to you and help you through something and listen and do all that stuff. But I can also disengage, because I know your choices are your choices. I also forgive myself at a level that I never forgave myself before. When I am not being the best friend, I can't be there like I used to in friendships, because I've got things going on. I used to beat myself up for it. My friends weren't, by the way. They were fine, but I would beat myself up for it, wanting to be more. I used to do it constantly with motherhood, and the honest truth is, if there's one area in my life I still beat myself up, it is my motherhood part. Because, I think as moms, you can never do enough and you're always critical of yourself, but I do it so much less. And we're in this together. And I asked for forgiveness from my daughter. She asked for forgiveness from me. And we let things go. And I'm teaching her those skills. The old me used to beat myself up when I made the tiniest mistake, or even didn't make a mistake, but in my head, my expectations were bigger than what I delivered on. Nobody else knew what I was expecting of myself, and I would spend hours. I wouldn't sleep. I would retread it. Maybe I should have said this and that. I don't do that anymore because I'm in a center of my life where I've put all my tools that I've learned to work for myself. I have a plan. I'm not perfect, but when I make a mistake, I can bounce back really quickly because I've learned the tools to do that. When I disappoint myself or other people, I can move through it pretty quickly. I feel my feelings that I never, ever let myself feel feelings before. I've done this and I want it for all of you. And yes, life will get busy. I mean, we have a lot on our plate or you wouldn't have signed up for a group called Crazy Busy Women in Balance. But where I want you to go, and I've really tried hard on this Facebook Live not to use the phrase crazy busy, because I think sometimes we use it as a badge of honor, or we use it as an excuse to not be who we really want to be or live the life we really want to be, because I'm crazy busy. I can't tell you how many of my friends will say, how are you doing? Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. And they'll say, oh my God, I'm crazy busy, as if that's like a check. That defines me in all of my existence. And you know what? Let's stop doing that. I mean, God knows I named my group Crazy Busy, so I'm going to have to use the phrase, but let's stop using it as an excuse to not take control or responsibility over how we're living our lives. And let me tell you, that shift doesn't happen with a word of the month. It starts to remind you of what it looks like to take control of your life, and think about it. But this is hard stuff. It's reprogramming. It really is shifting. And there are some uncomfortable moments when you have to stand back and say, you know what? I'm leaving right now from work. I'm leaving right now from work. And that is okay, because everything will still get done. But I get to go to dinner with my friends. I get to go, if you're single, go on a date and make time for dating. I get to go on a date night with my husband. I get to go to a soccer game on a weekday and see my son or daughter play. I get to volunteer in class. I get to do that because it starts with permission that you matter as much as those deadlines and the bosses and the children and the friends and the stuff we put in front of ourselves that matters so much more than ourselves. And I've said this probably on every video, and I will continue to say it because it blew my mind, and it continues to blow my mind. When I get my needs met, everybody else gets more, easier, and I get happier. And everybody's happier. I never believed that. I never could figure out how I could even begin. I felt guilty even at having needs. That's how bad I was. And I thought that if I got my needs met and put myself in front of everybody else, that one, people would get mad. Two, that they would get less and not everything would fall apart. Really, I thought everything would fall apart. How arrogant is that? And now I realize that when I get my needs met, I actually recognize my needs. I write them down. I know what they are. I try to achieve them. Some days I do great at that. Some days I don't. I ask for what I need. Oh, mind blowing. I never used to ask for what I need. And when I get my needs met, everybody else gets more and happier. And that is the shift. And I'm teaching you lots of little Band-Aids here in the word of the month. And I'm trying to show you that there are some anchors in your life that you can put in place. But this is a journey. It is a journey, and on the other side, you guys, here I am. I went through 21 days of really, crazy schedule. And I had fun doing it. And yes, there were moments where I was like, wow, how many more days of this? But I knew I had a plan. I put the plan in place. I brought everybody on board in my life. It's important in my relationships. I let myself off the hook on things that I never did before. Hi, Lori. And I got through it, and I'm here on the other side of it. Today is my first day. I went for a walk this morning. I started all my routines back. It's okay. I can get back in. I haven't worked out in 2.5 weeks, and I feel it. But I'm going to get back into that. And I didn't beat myself up for it, okay? That is the beauty of being on the other side of this. And there's so many tools I can give you, and I really want to talk to you about it. I'm going to close up because I promised I wouldn't talk too long, and I've already talked 15 minutes. But I had a lot to say because I've been thinking a lot about you, and I've been away for a while. And June is going to be like off the hook in this group. We're going to get serious. I want to start helping you. I'm going live with a webinar. I'm starting a new group where you all can join and become part of this 8-week program to transform your life. If you're interested in learning more about it, it really is a defined period of time, 8 weeks, where we change how you live your life. And that doesn't mean you have to quit your job. It doesn't mean that you have to reshuffle your whole life. It's just how do you put you in the center of your life? How do you make you live your life with intention? How do you take the steering wheel back from all the responsibility and pleasing that you're doing in your life? And there's a finite period of time that you can come out of the other end and be like me. I'm not perfect. I have my days. But my God, I am so peaceful and happy in my life, and I don't beat myself up anymore, and I have more than I ever thought I could, and I found it late. God help me, I found it late. So I would really love for you guys to find this earlier than me. I changed my life about 49, and I'd love for you to figure that out earlier than me, and I have the tools. It took me 3 years of grabbing all this information, and I have condensed it down to 8 weeks. It is a program that will be fundamentally transformative to your life and worth the time and effort. So if you're interested in finding out more about it, just messenger me. I'm here. We're going to do a lot in June. I just wanted to say hi, and let's stop getting out of the crazy busy and using it as an excuse in our lives to not live our best life, because this is it, people. This is the only life we get, and we need to start living it with intention and joy and happiness and peace, and it's possible. So have a good day. Hope you got something from this, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.